It doesn't end where you are. Just like Jesus wasn't in the boat with them, but he was watching them from the mountaintop. See, it may feel like he's not in the boat with you at the moment, but he's on the mountaintop. He's looking down. He's watching over you. That is why he says, I will never leave you. You know, these words, when we get them from the perspective of Jesus, is looking down at us, knowing what we're going through, and still saying, I will never leave you. You may feel alone. These disciples would have felt alone, but Jesus was watching them. Jesus was watching them. Doesn't matter how dark your storm is. Jesus' faith was already there. Why? Because he had spent time alone with God in prayer. Now, he wasn't waiting for the storm to come. He started praying, and whilst he was praying, in rolled the storm. It was a regular thing with Jesus. He would go early in the morning, and last thing at night, the first thing he would do is speak to his Father. The last thing he would do is speak to his Father. And everything in between, spoke to his Father. But he wasn't waiting for troubles to come his way. And I believe this is why so many Christians are weak, because they fail to see the importance of prayer. Prayer with God encourages you. Then it activates your faith. And then when the storm rolls in, you can walk on water. Now verse 24 says, meanwhile the disciples were in trouble far away from land, for a strong wind had risen, and they were fighting heavy waves. Now Edward mentioned about the Message version last week, and I just want to say about the Message version this week. I don't think Eugene Peterson realized what he'd written when he put it down as the fisherman got battered by the waves. The fisherman got battered by the waves. And when I seen that, I thought of Edward. A smile came. This is why we love the Message. Everyday language. The fisherman. That's divine justice. The fisherman got battered. Verse 25, about 3 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came to them walking on water. Let me tell you something now. Jesus knew when to turn up. He knew when to turn up. He'd been watching them. He knew when to turn up. They had fought for ages, but Jesus was coming. They seemed to go around in circles, but Jesus was coming. They go 1 row forward, 2 rows back, but Jesus was coming. And then, when they couldn't take any more, they looked up, and Jesus was there. And this morning, you may be going around in circles, but Jesus is coming. You may be going 1 step forward and 2 steps back, but Jesus is coming. Do you feel like you can't take any more? Jesus is here. You know, 1 Corinthians 10:13 tells us, and God is faithful. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out, so that you can stand up under it. There is another key. Stand up. Christians who get into a battle all too many times fall down, stay down, lie down. Get up. Get up. It is time for us to stand. 1 Corinthians 10:13 says in the Amplified Version, but God is faithful to His word and to His compassionate nature. He can be trusted. not to let you be tempted and tried and assailed beyond your ability and strength of resistance and power to endure. But with the temptation, he will always also provide the way out, the means of escape to a landing place, that you may be capable and strong and powerful to bear up under it patiently. Notice Jesus provides the place for you to be capable, strong, and powerful. You don't do it in your own strength. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Christ is the way out this morning. Now, faith also grows in the dark. It grows in the storms. It grows in the tough times. And the thing with faith is, you get so far and your faith grows. But next time, you've got to go past that place for your faith to grow. So every time you shout out, Lord, I can't take it anymore. I can't. This is it. Jesus knows how far you can come. And he says, now look how far you have come. Now with my strength, you will go forward. And you get to that place of victory. And you think, oh, my faith's pretty strong. And then all of a sudden you come this step forward and it's like, whoa, I can't take it anymore. Jesus says, look how far you come. Look where you're going. And remember whose strength you're doing this in. And your faith grows. So every time you say you can't take it, just remember, Jesus is in you. And you can do all things through Christ, who strengthens you. You've got to learn to trust God. You've got to learn to believe in Him when we see Him walking towards us in the hour of our need. Now, you may say, well, I've heard all this before, and you probably have. Because like I said, I like to preach this message. But here is where there's a difference. If we go to verse 29, it says, all right, come, Jesus said. So Peter went out over the side of the boat and walked on the water towards Jesus. Now we need to remember, this is Peter. You could take out the name of Peter and insert your name. Peter was a man who got out of a boat and walked on water. Don't let that skip through your head without thinking about it. He walked on water. It's like going down to Treacle Bay and then walking out on the water. Because see, Peter was nothing special. He denied Jesus 3 times for a start. He was like you and me. But there is a difference. And here is the difference. There is a difference between faith and believing. Peter had faith. The other disciples just believed. Faith is when you move in obedience to God's word. Believing doesn't require you to do anything. Just believe. Peter's faith kicked in when Jesus said, come. That's the difference. It is his faith caused a reaction when he had God's word on it. Peter got out and he walked, believing, kept the rest in the boat. See, they probably believed that they could. At the end of the day, they're now watching Peter walk on water. But that's where it stopped. Peter took the step. He probably had sown deep into his heart Psalm 23 verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are... Do you see how the word just comes alive? Can you see how the word comes? I will fear no evil, for you